guys, and welcome back to another edition of Dungeons and Distractions. And as you can see, we're back in Gnomoria. We are working our way around here. We're getting our guys all settled in, and they're ready and busy and busheling all their fun stuff together. Now, they're still kind of annoying me that their agricultural skills are being changed around a little bit. I've still been trying to figure out the finite workings of this particular thing. I'm not sure why their job priority is all screwed up. That being said, oh, wait, no, I think I see it. Yeah, so pioneering and provisioner, his farming is at the bottom for some reason. So we're going to move farming. That's silly. Why would I do that? That's silly. Anyway, farming's at the top now. Agriculture can actually be above that and pasture above that as well because those are lesser jobs for the most part. Now they should farm. Oh, look at their farming. In a second here, they'll be farming like crazy. There they go, they're farming. Hooray, farmers doing their job. Additionally, we got our workers here, our mason, or our pick workers and all those dudes doing that thing. I'm gonna actually, once they clear all these woods out of here, dig, ramp down. Now, ramp down is still the most priority thing, man. You dig a ramp down so that if you're taking up a high location and you're digging it down, your guys will always have a way to get down there safely. Avak showed me that in one of his playthroughs. Avak is another one of the guys that initially got me into Gnomoria, and #1 guy I always talk about every time I play this game. Simple reason is because he does a great job. He taught me the initial setups of all of this gameplay, and the majority of the stuff that I do in this game is exactly what Avak taught me. And that's more or less just through watching his YouTube videos. He's a great guy. I have talked to him a couple times on Steam, and he's a very supportive player as well as a really friendly guy in general. So if you guys want to check out his channel, I'll link that in the description below. And I know he's doing some stuff with Fallout. He does it a little bit differently than most other people. I'm not going to be doing a Fallout playthrough for the simple reason because it's flooded everywhere, and I am not really a big fan of it. A lot of people were like, gasp, but Lorne, Fallout, it's so good. I don't think so. You know, it feels like Fallout prior to Fallout this one. And because of that, I'm just not going to be into it. I wasn't really a huge fan of the original Fallout games, and although they were solid and well put together, not really my forte. So because of that, I'm not going to go ahead and do a YouTube channel on a game that I'm not a huge fan of. Gnomoria, on the other hand, a very entertaining game. A lot of fun for me to play. And if you guys don't like Gnomoria and you want to see some other stuff, you can always mention something else, but I'm not going to do Fallout. Just don't say Fallout. I don't want to do it. Don't want to deal with it. Additionally, I have, like I said, been playing Sword Coast Legends, so I will probably start up a new character and start running through the campaign that way. I get distracted a lot when I play that game, so it's moderately entertaining for some people to watch. I don't know if the people watching this particular channel, you guys in general, want to watch me play that. If you do, then just let me know. Either way, I'm going to play it anyway. Also, I think I got a couple other games I'm going to work my way through. It is a downtime for me. Like I said, layoff season has hit, so I'm going to be working my way through a couple different channels, a couple different games, and hopefully get myself all set up there. Now I'm just kind of digging some stuff out just in case I need storage down the line or think of something that I want to put in there. And I do need a well, but I can't get a well until I get the proper construction, which is what these wonderful workshops are working on. So in the meantime, while these guys are working on this, we're actually going to set up our military. Now you notice we don't have any military right now, so I'm going to actually create a new squad. The Incested Panthers. These are just some names that they come up with that are just so disturbing. Incested Panthers. No. Disgusting Prime. I don't understand that. The Hooved Lighters. I don't know what that means. Purple Finders. The Calling Weeds of Home. Okay. The Fleeing Raiders of Peace. The Tugging Metals of Judge. The Brimmed Thieves. Maybe decent for the roguelike characters we make, our ranged units that come in later in the game. I don't need them for now, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep the basic formation, and I'm going to just fill it with those guys there. And so basic formation doesn't give everything. There's obviously your basic defend gnomes, avoid enemies, perform attack martyrs. There we go. We're not going to give them a uniform. The reason being, well. Oh, phone calls. Phone calls happen sometimes. Anyway, where was I? So we're going to settle the military. We're going to have them... I don't want them to pursue... I want them to... pursue lost targets, actually, not a bad idea. Retreat of bleeding. Retreat to equip your information, or your uniform, and assist your squad leader at all times. Normally, we set them up with a uniform as well, so I'm going to create a uniform. Even though I said I wasn't going to, I'll create a civilian uniform, and the reason I'm going to do that is just because. So I'm not going to give them any kind of gear whatsoever, no weapons, no anything, because that means that they can just maintain their civilian position as a basic soldier, yada yada yada. And I think that's probably it. So I'm just going to create one more squad. Scaled dogs, the ivory leopards of Stray, harvested vultures, yellow openers, hungry scum, dyed forests. Well, sure, why not? And those guys are military already. And the reason I do this somewhat early in the game, so I can give them some training as well. It does increase their vision range a little bit too, which does help, and I can create a training room early, kind of. Fell trees, They've actually cut down almost all these trees for me already, which is great. My miners are pretty well done that. They're digging out the inside. These guys are building that stuff. So we can start our work on the stone cutter. Well, they haven't got that far yet, but I'm going to do that anyway. And the stone cutter makes blocks. Stonemason makes things out of blocks. I think it's the wood. No, I need the stonemason to make... Yeah, I need the stonemason to make the blades for the thing that chops the wood. Yeah, okay. I got it. It just takes me a little bit of time. Terrain, remove ramp. Got to cut those ramps off. I'll leave that ramp there so they can kind of get up and out there for a little while here. We're going to do the spinorama here. These guys are going to mine this back pretty decently. We'll cut out that. For those, I hate spinning this because now I don't know which way is which. I think I was actually... Nope, one more. There we go. This is the normal way for me right now. Now, I've cleaned this up a bit, so I've got some more room to build some more farms. So I'm going to actually make this farm a little bit larger. That expands it, yep. And I'm going to build another farm right here. And this farm will be cotton. And it's going to have less variety because I don't really need cotton right now. And then we're going to build some groves because we do need groves. And, you know, it's always good to have apple groves and orange groves early. And we'll have them cut clippings, pick the fruit, don't fell the trees. And we'll do the same here, only for pine trees. And we will have them cut clippings and don't fell the trees until it's full. And those two will just more or less be maintained for now. Those guys are digging all that back. Dig, ramp down. Now see, this is the problem. If I had golems on in the gameplay mode, I would be getting slaughtered by golems. And I know a lot of people are frustrated because, hey, you should have golems on. It creates a new element, it creates more difficulty. I'm not that good at the game yet. And build terrain, ramp of any clump right there. And that way they can just build that up there. So we're progressing here pretty nicely. We've got our beds in place. We've got some rooms built up. These guys are working on the furniture that we need for the actual constructions here. It's going to take them a little while to get that running. We've got our wheat farms planted, and it's only the 4th day of spring, so we still have summer and fall to go through with growth, which is good. And these guys are hammering away at this fun stuff here. I keep hitting E, which is not what I want to do. We're going to dig another ramp down here just because. Not two, just one. There we go. And I'll move the ramps from this, and then I'll just build a wall to there. And remove ramp. Ding. Ding. Do that. A lot of excavating. I mean, like, the amount of excavating I do early game is stupid. Stupid amounts of excavating early game. I really should find a better method early game to get my environments set up the way I like them. E again. Jesus. I keep trying to turn the camera with the E button, and it's definitely not the right button to do that with, obviously. It takes me a little time to get used to these things again. We're going to need a well soon, though. We are getting... Oh, my drink's at 100. We were going to need a well at some point, but I guess the yaks are creating milk, which does create some advantages that way. These guys have got these constructed, which means I should have my masonry stuff set up soon. The wood is being filled out here, so these guys are hauling some stuff in, which keeps them busy, which is good. This guy here is just digging the stuff down for us, so we're going to have that dug down soon. And have this all cleaned up, and it'll look really nice and clean and pretty, and everyone will be happy. And if they're not happy, then it's just how it goes. We're gonna get these guys to start building some dirt clump walls. And the reason I build the dirt clump walls is because it's a resource that you get in abundance, and you know, it's not pretty by any means, but it works, and that just more or less secures that corner over there, so I don't have to worry about anything coming through there. I'm thinking this will be my entryway. What I'll do is I'll build this, I'll shore this up a little bit, and we'll go from there. I'm going to actually have them cut some trees over here. I'm going to have them cut all these apple trees down. And these trees in there. And that way that they cut those apple trees down, we'll get some clippings, and I can start growing apple trees. Breeding apple trees, if you will. I don't really want to breed apple trees. That's strange and cruel, somehow. I'm not really sure how, but it's kind of cruel. It's weird to have to breed trees. I'm going to fill these trees over here so I can clean this up a bit. There we go. Right there. And these guys dig that down, and we'll ramps here. I don't think I've got any bad goblins or any creatures coming up here. Still don't have the software set up properly so that I can listen to the game while I'm playing it, unfortunately. But enemies anywhere. I don't see any enemies anywhere. Let's hope they get all this stuff constructed. This is a lot of work for these guys to do, and I'm kind of overworking them a bit. Normally you don't really want to do that. Normally you want them to be at a certain pace, and that way everything stays progressively being done. I am slowing them down by giving them so many jobs, but they all have a variety of different positional jobs and things like that that they can do, so honestly it's not that bad. We're going to get a forested area set up here with the apples. There we go. We don't want to fell the trees. We've got clippings, plants, and there we go. So that'll just set up the trees there. And it gives the farmers something to do. They're bored. They don't have much to do. They only farm. I mean, farming's not like a lot of work, right? Not a huge amount of work. It's just all the work. We'll go dirt clumps here, and that's a tree there, so we'll go across here like this, and we'll pause this real quick. So here's where we start getting a little bit more intricate with the design and style, because I do want my enemies to come through here in a certain way. So cancel that, and we'll cancel this, and the advantage of snaking them into your facility, because it is a facility, is it makes it so they have to go through this lengthy thing, and you eventually can fill it with traps, and even if you wanted to, like pits and things like that, that force them to have to go back through those traps. So it's always fun, and it looks kind of neat eventually. Alrighty, so that sets that up. And if you wall off your community, it creates this element of like enclosure, you know? You don't want your gnomes to feel closed in all the time. You want them to be secure and safe, which is why you build walls. But at the same time, you still don't want like an unbreakable wall built. Because I set it up so the goblins don't mind. It's because I don't like that. I don't think the goblins... I mean, the goblins should have the technology to do that because they are goblins. In, I think, the classical sense, that makes sense. But at the same time, I don't want them to line my walls in. That's all. Once I start building this stuff, I don't want them to destroy it. That's kind of unfair. To the gnomes more than anything. Remove these ramps as well. Oh, I'm an idiot and dug out the wall to one of my buildings. So I'll just rebuild that real quick. There we go. And that'll be that. So that'll actually just fill this out really nicely. These guys are going to get up here, clean all this up. These guys should be able to burrow their way through here. And I'm going to have to remove the ramps here as well. Can I get to that ramp? I can't even get to that corner, so I don't have to worry about that. But that should set up the entrance and all that. So once they have all this stuff built, we should be set up okay. All this stuff here constructed and all that jazz. We aren't even at the end of our first season yet. We're already done the first day. The goblins will attack at some point soon, I believe. And these guys should be able to build this soon as well. Now, let me just check this real quick. He's on the chisels. Have him do the chisels first. I'm actually going to get him to build 2 more chisels. 2 more workbenches and 2 more chairs. And that's just so we can get all this stuff done right away. So he's going to get that sorted out soon. Our builders are going to build like this little gnome here is doing. And we should be good to go. Now, we should have, so of course, go through the names of our gnomes, which is always good. This is such a mess. Ugh. Place floor with dirt clumps. We can get all that sorted out. And in the next episode, I'm thinking I'm going to just get them to haul and clean everything up a little bit once we get the walls set up. I'm going to start having to get them to train as well and have them secure that position a little bit better. We are going to need to get the wheat farm set up a little bit nicer as well. Screw that one up. There we go. And that just sets us up a little better. This way, it looks nicer too, you know, you get rid of all the clumps and crap like that are on the ground here. These guys should be able to build these right now. They should be able to build them. So, why haven't they built them yet? Taking their time, or they're not needing them. So I'm gonna actually just, well, can I suspend you? I'm gonna suspend you. Have this guy build those real quick so I can suspend it. And when we come back, we're going to be able to, we started the construction of the mason, we started to start the construction of that stuff. Maybe next time we can actually finish it. But they're initially constructing all this fun stuff and all the secured locations, so they're going to have all this built up and ready to go. We're going to have our stonemason set up, and we're also going to have our well put in place soon too. But with that, I think that's probably going to wrap this episode up. I don't really know where we're going with this particular group. Don't have any monsters spawning yet, which is good. We're on our 5th day of spring, and we got our yaks just kind of touring around as well, which is not as ideal as I'd like it, but that's okay. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes the yaks just got a tour. But on the bright side, we are getting our farms are now planted. Our trees are starting to be planted. They're going to start cleaning this up after they build up all of these walls, which is the most ideal factor right now. Once I get the walls built, it'll be secure and safe. And yeah, that should be doing it. We were going to have these the stone production done soon. I might actually start building their bedrooms up a little bit and kind of cleaning everything up. We do need a market stall so we can start getting traders in so I can start making profit. And profit is always good because then you can build it a little quicker because you can get different elements. We might go down a little deeper as well and start mining out some of the stone, see if we can't find some copper. We're a little early for copper, but it's a good trade. Good. So, again, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Check out our Facebook page. It's in the link description below. I forgot to mention that Liam still did my video, and I do have his website linked in the description below as well. So feel free to check out his website. Check out Avac's website as well and his YouTube channel. Not his website, his YouTube channel, because he has one. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. And don't forget, every dungeon has its distraction.